morning, folks. Today I want to take you to two or three different scriptures. I want to start with John 16:33. These things I have spoken to you, that in me you may have peace. Then he goes on to say, in the world you will have tribulation, but be of good cheer. I have overcome the world. Now, in the middle of the corona, it's obvious we have tribulation. Disease and all of this came in as a result of the sin of our forefathers, and particularly Adam and Eve. And so we understand that we're going to have trouble in this life, and it's going to require faith. Now, what is faith? Hebrews 11:1 tells us faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. So it's like holding the title deed in your hands to an invisible reality. Faith is seizing something that is tied to God's promises, regardless of what the world is doing. Now, I'm just going to share my heart with you this morning. Trust me, I'm not saying this for any reason, but we're not getting a paycheck. We haven't gotten a paycheck in weeks since this thing started. And so I'm having to trust God. Now, obviously, people are applying for all these things, but who knows when that's going to happen. And so we're in a different day, a day that I've never been in. This morning, I called my insurance company. And because I knew it was going to be an automatic deduction out of my account, and I wasn't going to be able to make it. And so I said, I can't make that. And so I dropped a car off the insurance. And she said, well, actually, we're not going to cancel your insurance right now. And it was very kind. But nevertheless, I've never had to do these things. I've never seen it like this. And I have no control. I'm in a position where I don't. That's really where anxiety comes in, is when you can't control your world. But you know what? Jesus was training his disciples to live in a world where they had no control. He said, my peace I've given unto you. He said, we keep trying to muster up our peace. I know I'm going to make it. I'm going to borrow this money. I've got this money set aside, and just trying to think of how long it's going to last, and all these things. And we just keep going back to something that's anxiety provoking, instead of saying, okay, God, faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. I can't see the fact that you're going to take care of me. I don't know how you're going to do it. But Philippians 4:19 tells us, my God shall supply all of your needs according to his riches in glory through Christ Jesus. Now, somehow, some way, through the victory that was won on the cross and in the resurrection and in that incredible, omnipotent power, you're going to take care of me because I'm your child. Now, I don't have to know how it's going to happen. I'd really like to know, Lord, would you just tell me? That'd really help me out. But he didn't say he would. He didn't tell Job. And you saw what Job went through. He basically said to Job, you know what, Job? I just want you to trust me when you can't understand it. I want you to so know that I have your best interest in mind. Romans 8:28. We know God works all things to what? To our good. He takes bad and works it to our good. And so we know God is going to be not only faithful, he works all things together for the good to those that love him and are called according to his purpose. And so you know you love God, and yet we're worried. And God says, don't worry. I've got it. I've got it. I'm driving. I've got this thing. You don't have to fret, because it only causes harm, he tells us in Psalms. And so faith, the substance of things unseen. Grasping and holding on to the garment like the lady did in the crowd. If I could only touch his garment, I'd be made whole. And she was. Touch the garment of Jesus in faith. And say, okay, God, all I've got is your word. But But you know what? It's enough. It's enough. Hold on to it. God has you in his hands.